So this one's going to be a little wrap-up of everything we just talked about with the angles and parallel lines. So it's kind of like a puzzle. So we're given in the problem that A and B are parallel lines. So we have A and B are parallel lines. And we know that the measure of angle 1, which is right here, equals 107 degrees. So the first thing, without doing any math at all, I know exactly what the measure of angle 4 is. So we know the measure of angle 1 is 107. The measure of angle 4 is also 107 degrees because angle 1 and angle 4 are vertical angles. So we know that the measure of angle 4 is 107 degrees. So it's even more awesome now because we don't have to do any work for 2 more angles. Notice that 4 and 5 are alternate interior angles. So since 4 and 5 are alternate interior angles, we can also say that 5 is 170 degrees because they are alternate interior angles, and alternate interior angles are congruent. So the measure of angle 5 equals 107 degrees because alternate interior angles. And lastly, we can even say that the measure of angle 8 is 107 degrees because there's 3 different ways. So 1, because vertical angles with angle 5. Okay, so vertical angle with angle 5. We also know that 4 and 8 are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are equal. So, because corresponding angles. And we also know because 1 and 8, angles 1 and 8 are alternate interior angles. I mean, they're exterior, sorry. They're exterior angles because they're on the outside. It's alternate exterior angles. So, that's great. We've got what 4 out of the 8 angles already are. So the next step to do is to figure out another missing piece. So, notice up here, angle 1 is supplementary with angle 3. So they're supplementary because they are a linear pair. See, they're a linear pair. And angle 1 is also supplementary, like angles 1 and 2 are also supplementary because they are also a linear pair. So we have these linear pairs going on. Notice that 2 and 3 are vertical angles, so we know they're equal. So we know that whatever one we solve, we're going to find out what angles 2 and 3 are. So, to set up if they're supplementary, we're going to do the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180 degrees. Because remember, supplementary means 2 angles whose measures add to 180 degrees. So we know what the angle 1 is. It's 107. But we don't know the measure of angle 2. So we're going to call this x to shorten it. So 107 plus x equals 180. This is like a 1 step, so we're just going to get rid of the 107 by subtracting. This is the opposite of adding. So x is equal to 73. So we know that the measure of angle 2 is equal to 73 degrees. And we said earlier that 2 and 3 are vertical angles. So that equals 73. 3 and 6 are alternate interior angles. So that equals 73 degrees. And we also know that 2 and 7 are alternate exterior angles. So that equals 73 degrees. So when you're posed with a problem with just given one angle measure, take it slow and figure out one piece at a time before you can figure out the whole thing.